Although I have yet talked about Cassana's real-time strategy skill, I don't even know if it works as intended or not, to be honest. Like, it seems as though it reduces the cooldown of your skills, but you still trigger your skill at the same time as the enemy. So it would only be good as a duo commander line, when timing between skills will exceed 10 seconds, or basically cause a delay in skills. But that is not the point of today. I noticed something interesting. Weirdly enough, her additional commander active chance is always 40% no matter the quality, which is very different compared to Layla, who she replaces in top lineups. I won't go into her kit and the top cavalry lineup here, but I will be explaining her skill for the context of this video. So is she actually good at gray quality? I'll cut right to it, she is pretty good. While if you have Layla at gold, she will be better in nearly every scenario, I did some thinking where she can still be useful for players who were lucky enough to get her on the commander wheel and aren't going to spend to level her up. Who knows, maybe eventually she will be added to the commander chests. But regardless, can we still use her for any commander lineup? And more importantly, is it worth getting her at gray level? Let's begin. I suppose let's start with what stats she would provide at gray level. As mentioned, the 40% chance for additional active. This will be for healing or damaging based skills. She will also give 25% to each cavalry stat. Yes, the commander skill cooldown. I don't think you should be using her for a main lineup, and really she should be in a secondary or supporting lineup. So how can we use her? Since we are going to use her for a secondary or supporting lineup, we can already eliminate many of the main battle commanders from this discussion, and even the self-healing commanders being Soren and Annie. However, commanders with skill-based damage skills. You can make some pretty fun lineups, to be completely honest. Think of something like a budget female line, where we use Jean and either Enzo or Julian. This can work with any line, and you can swap out the damage commander with whoever you prefer. Let's see how this line goes. You can see dealing 700 troop damage with the commander's skill, dealing 4,900 damage, or close to 3 normal attacks worth. Here's the same without the commander buff, dealing 3,000 damage. To be honest, damage coefficient is so weird, but for this about per 150 coefficient equals 1 attack, which seems fair. We can also see this with Dani's skill. Keep in mind this can hit up to 5 targets. For this show, she is gray quality. Dealing 100 coefficient, she dealt about 2/3 the troop damage, so it seems consistent enough. You can use a gray or lower level Dani in this formation too, given she does recover 200 rage for the next commander. It just means you will cycle through skills much quicker. Yeah, this is a secondary lineup option unless you're a free-to-play or low-spending player who luckily got her upon her release. Then this usually won't be used as a main line, but it is a synergy regardless. You will not be using a gray Cassana in your main lineup. What about using her in a support commander lineup? I am going to make a standalone video about the supporting commanders, as there are quite a few I believe are very underrated. This is just because synergies are so strong and supporting players rarely get the benefit of shining just due to timing issues with many other armies and engagements. I do take issue with the whole skill system and rage cost cause of this. Many commander balancing is redundant and have no realistic use, but back to the video. Supporting commanders mainly focusing on Sansa and Marg for this. Both of their healing is great for supporting your allies, and especially good since these can double trigger Layla of Cassana skills. But the issue is in all-out war where we have healer cards, so healer commanders for the most part are not as useful here, but that changes in Siege of Winterfell. Why wouldn't you just use another damage line and kill the enemy faster? Isn't doing that mean you will take less damage overall anyways? And sadly, yay, this is right. In Lost Realms, they're way more useful to cover your allies and ensure your healing carts don't have to waste as much resources on that, and instead focus on resilience. So is the Cassana Babe the new commander everyone has to get to gray quality? Well, no. While this is a really good commander for a second lineup, or even as a baby army that uses army skill damage, Layla does fill this role for lower spending players, and as of now she is yet to be in any easily obtained source. You can get her medals from the DICE event, and recharging will be enough to get her gray level, but I would not go out of my way for this. If you were lucky enough to get her, give the battle lineup a try, see how it goes, or even so replace Cassana with Layla. Many synergies do exist and they are fine. I will even do you a favor, I'll make next video about it. You own me a cookie.
Chocolate chip.